You can spend decades doing everything right. Study hard, build a career, save money, buy a home, and still lose almost everything because of a single setback. Meet Max. He's 34 years old. He lives in Texas, he works in IT, earns six figures, owns a home, and has a family. From the outside, he's living the American dream. Then one Tuesday morning, everything changes. He walks into work like it's any other day. Then an email pops up. We're letting you go. Why? We don't have to tell you. In 49 out of 50 US states, that's completely legal. For most people outside the US, this sounds unbelievable. In countries like Sweden, Germany, France, and the Netherlands, employers typically need a valid reason, must document performance issues, give warnings, offer time to improve, and often provide 1 to 6 months notice or more. In some cases, they even need approval from a government agency or a court. Japan has traditionally gone even further. It was once famous for lifetime employment, and although that's less common today, employers still face such strict legal standards that many will try transfers, retraining, or repeated warnings before firing someone. So why is America so different? The answer goes back more than 140 years. Unlike most developed countries, the United States built its labor market around a legal principle called at-will employment. The idea is simple. Unless a contract says otherwise, either side can end the employment relationship at any time for almost any reason. This is just the beginning. Here are 5 things Americans consider completely normal, but much of the world can't believe. And they're all connected. Let's start with taxes. In many developed countries, your taxes help pay for healthcare, college, and childcare. In America, you often pay taxes, then on top of that, you pay for all of those separately. But that's still not the whole story. In US, you're also expected to tip. In countries like Japan, China, and much of Europe, workers are paid a full wage, so tipping is rare or just a small bonus. In America, many restaurant servers can legally be paid as little as $2.13 an hour before tips. That means tipping doesn't feel optional. It feels like part of the bill. Imagine you're a foreigner visiting America. You've planned your budget perfectly. Then the checkout price is higher because of sales tax. Then you're expected to leave a 20% tip. Suddenly, America is a lot more expensive than you planned. But those extra costs are nothing compared to the next surprise. Healthcare. You're an average American. You pay your rent, your groceries, your car payment. Then one bad fall changes everything. You break your leg. Without insurance, that single accident can cost around $7,500. Spend 3 days in the hospital, and the bill can exceed $30,000. So many Americans live with the feeling that they simply can't afford to get sick, because it can send you into a debt spiral. In countries like Canada and much of Europe, most healthcare costs are covered by the government. Take Poland, for example. People covered by the public healthcare system can receive family doctor visits, hospital stays, emergency treatment, medically necessary surgeries, childbirth, cancer treatment, and many diagnostic tests free at the point of care. Even some complex procedures, such as medically necessary jaw surgery, can be publicly funded. And despite this, Poland's overall tax burden is actually lower than the United States. Why do you think that is? Share your thoughts in the comments. Number 3, car culture. Imagine moving to America without a car. You want to go to work, buy groceries, or even grab a coffee. You quickly realize you can't. In much of Europe and Asia, cities are older, denser, and built around people. Trains, buses, and walking make owning a car optional. America took a different path. After World War II, cities expanded around highways instead of public transit. Gasoline is also much cheaper because it's taxed less, making it more affordable to drive large SUVs and pickup trucks. Roads, highways, and parking spaces were built bigger to match. As a result, Americans spend more on cars and rely on them for almost every trip. While roughly 10 to 20% of commuters in Western Europe use public transportation, only about 2% do in the United States. That's also why many American teenagers start driving at 15 or 16. In many places, a car is the only practical way to get around. In much of Europe, where buses and trains are more accessible, most people don't get a driver's license until around 18. But transportation isn't the only place where America went bigger than the rest of the world. Wait until you see what happens when Americans order a drink. Number 4, free refills and giant portions. Europeans often joke that an American small meal could feed a family of 4. A hamburger meal, or plate of pasta in the US, is often nearly twice the size of what you'd get in many other countries. Then there's the drink. Buy one soda and you can usually refill it as many times as you want, for free. To much of the world, that's almost unbelievable. So why would restaurants give away unlimited drinks? Because fountain soda costs only a few cents to make, yet sells for several dollars. Profit margins can exceed 80%, making free refills a cheap way to attract customers. The same logic explains the giant portions. America's farms produce abundant, relatively inexpensive food, and restaurants learned long ago that more food feels like a better deal. What looks wasteful to much of the world simply feels like good value to many Americans. And the last one, it's probably the most expensive thing Americans have convinced themselves is normal. Number 5, college. In America, going into debt for a college degree is considered completely normal. Before many Americans earn their first full-time paycheck, they're already expected to borrow tens of thousands of dollars for an education. The result? Many begin adult life not by building wealth, but by paying off debt. Meanwhile, countries like Germany, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, France, Poland, and the Czech Republic heavily subsidize higher education, allowing many students to attend public universities for free or at a very low cost. At this point, you might be wondering if America is so different, why do millions of people still move there? Because America also offers something many countries don't: opportunity. Higher salaries, bigger careers, more chances to build wealth. But those opportunities often come with more risk. In much of Europe, the system provides more security. In America, it offers more upside and expects you to handle more of the downside yourself. So which system would you choose? Let me know in the comments.